Giorgio Pagano. Yeah, I remember that one. It started out like any other day, crawling out of the gutter. But this particular gutter had a certain day-old discarded food aroma to it. Not old enough to be rotting, not fresh enough to retain their edible quality. And as such, I was starving, but I needed money. I needed work. So I crawled out of the garbage and headed to the Jade King Lounge, a bar with food so bad they wouldn't even notice the smell. I enter the establishment and make my way to the job board near the telephone. The bartender gives me a dirty look. Guess I was wrong about the judgment. Fortunately for me, I have no shame. So I start sifting through the postings. Humiliation. Too humiliating. Stolen item. I probably took it. Then I saw it. Arrest some bum. Collect 400 crows. Thank goodness for the lazy bums at Beta Enforcement Division. Easy job, and they'll even throw in the name for free. With my ticket in hand, I head over to City Hall to pick up some cuffs and the secretary too. You working out, Suzanne? Looking pretty good. Get out of here, you bum. Probably for the best. Thing like that got standards I just can't maintain. While I'm there, I pay a visit to Beta Enforcer Division to get some more information on Pagano. The informant was pretty tight-lipped, possibly in on it. Whatever it was. With no headway made, I look up Pagano's address in the city directory. 1802 Stubbs. I knock on the door. There's no answer. So I turn off the lights and do some detective work to get in. Once in, it's clear that no one's home. Honestly, with all the boxes, I couldn't tell if someone was coming or going. Needless to say, I was a bit frustrated. I took it out on a window. At least I left him with a little mess to clean up for wasting my time. With no other leads to work off of, I needed to go on instinct. Searching the city directory led me to the local establishment called Pagano's. My hunch was that Pagano worked at Pagano's. It was a swanky joint. Definitely not a place I could afford. Yet. I speak to some of the staff about Giorgio, and for a change, someone is pretty forthcoming. Turns out Pagano not only works at the restaurant, but is currently there. Fine, I just have to arrest the bum and collect my paycheck. Only one problem. Giorgio works in the back, and I don't have access. So I search around the premises and find a door code to the back. If only I could get in without being spotted. I also don't know what Giorgio looks like. At first I tried to sneak through a vent in an adjoining building, to no success. Option number 2. Frankly, the better option. Grab a coffee and a donut and wait until closing time to do some detective work to get in and get the employee records. Done with waiting and thoroughly full of coffee and donut, I make my way back to Pagano's, and lo and behold, it's locked. Perfect. I do some detective work to get in, only to be immediately spotted by the last person leaving, Giorgio Pagano. I've got him. With Pagano under arrest, it's time to collect my money. At least, that's what I thought. Until I was ambushed by a crowd of people. They chased me into an alley and beat me unconscious. They were so quick to defend this guy. You'd think I'd arrested the Pope or something. I awoke several hours later in the hospital, cleaned up, sober, and feeling refreshed. Silver linings, I guess. My task wasn't finished. I needed to get into Pagano's back room and check the employee records so that I could get a visual identification of Giorgio or risk another beating at the hands of an angry mob. Under the cover of darkness, I made my way into the back room. There's my boy. I'm not sure what I expected. That's one problem solved. But another reared its head. I need more handcuffs. But I have no more money. I started out by begging. It seemed simple enough, but the harsh rejection really starts to sting after a while. So I switched to doing some magic, by which I make valuable things disappear and then reappear in a different place in exchange for money. I'm not a very good magician, so the spectators were rightly upset. But in the end, I did complete my trick to the tune of $95 and a fancy new pair of handcuffs. Back at Pagano's apartment, I arrest him. But as it turns out, He's a pretty good magician himself, shutting the door and locking it on me somehow, with his hands behind his back. This is probably why he needed to be arrested. I do a little detective work to get out of the apartment and head back to City Hall to collect my reward. A few stitches and some unwanted exercise later, the case was solved, and I collected my money.